rules, confirmations, and elections for Tuesday, March 15th, the Ides of March. And I'm going to go ahead and call roll. Acting chair already detects that we do not have a quorum, and so I will go over our next procedures and how we're going to proceed for the day. So Chair Vercher is delayed. Evans is absent. Johnson, absent. Lee is delayed. I am here. Council Lady Kathleen Murphy. Vice Chair Pulley is out of here. Rosenberg is gone. Rutherford.
Here.
Syracuse. Here. All right, with that, how we're going to proceed, we do not have a quorum. Our committee rules do require that we have a quorum to act in committee. We are going to acknowledge that we have several board and commission members up for appointment or reappointment here before us, and we will discuss their eligibility on the floor in committee. In accordance with our rules, typically we do have to have committee action to be heard on the floor. The way we're going to participate in this is have the committee sponsors come before us. We will not be taking a vote officially on anything, but they will be appearing before us, and we'll need a rule suspension on the floor that I trust the three of us will defend them if anyone questions their intentions on the floor to do anything outside of what our committee would normally be taking action on. So with that, I think board and commission members, y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of our show today, or if y'all want to go ahead and take seats in the main chambers, you're welcome to do that. With that, I'm going to start on resolutions. Do we have, I thought I saw Council Lady Gamble out there. If anyone could shout for her, she can appear for our first item. Moving to our second item is Council Lady Van Reese. It is RS 2022-1436 by Van Reese, Johnson, Welch, and others, and it honors TSU's Athletic Director, Teresa Phillips. Again, I'm not going to take a motion on this because we are not voting without the quorum, but Council Lady Van Reese, if you would like to share anything, please feel free to do so now.
Absolutely. This is one of the series in our resolutions honoring the 50th anniversary of Title IX and recognition of a Nashville hero.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for continuing up that series. We appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will have our full committee support on the floor. With that, I'm going to back up to item number 1 on our agenda, which is RS 2022-1435 by Hurt, Vercher, and Gamble. And leading the way for that is our own Council Lady Gamble. Who else would she be? I don't know. But it honors the life of Nashville community leader Marilyn Robinson. So if you would like to share anything, this would be the time. But we are not going to, I know you just joined us, we're not going to take a vote because we'll handle it on the floor.
Okay.
You will need to move for a rule suspension.
Definitely. As many of you may know, Marilyn Robinson was a great advocate for minority contracting in Nashville. She served as the executive director of the Minority Business Council Advisory, and also served on many boards to advance our city's work in contracting, particularly with minority businesses. She was a great pillar in our community, and we are presenting this resolution to recognize her in this way. She passed away about 2 weeks ago, so it's a great loss for our city and for our community.
It is a huge loss. I know that she has been very involved in Metro and everything in Nashville possible for a very long time. So I really appreciate y'all carrying this, and I think most of us have signed on, but if you will call for the other Murphy rule other than the quorum rule that has hampered us today to get us all to sign on, that would be wonderful, and I think appreciated by all. So thank you so much, Council Lady Gamble.
Thank you.
Ms. Darby, how would you like us to handle it? Council Lady Toombs has sent a letter to approve an item. Okay. Move on. All right. So with that, we'll just roll that to the heel in case Council Lady Toombs appears. We'll move on to RS 2022-1438. We also do not have either sponsor for that or a letter. So that would be RS 2022-1437 and 1438 rolled to the hill, and then we'll decide if we need to defer a meeting or not. That brings us to RS 20.
Councilmember Taylor's here. Do you want me to go find him?
No, because you're on the committee. I'm already hemorrhaging committee members here. Please, no one else leave the room. So that will also please get Councilman Bradford. We will skip, I am on this one. So RS 2022-1439 is by Councilman Bradford, O'Connell, myself, and others. It's a resolution supporting Earth Hour 2022 on Saturday, March 26th 2022 from 8:30 to 9:30. I think all of you are very familiar with what Earth Hour is, and I hope you all plan to turn off all of your lights at that time. Council Lady Allen will be leading the charge, going house to house to turn off the electricity to our entire house, and we appreciate her for that. So we will now back up to RS 2022-1438 by Councilman Taylor, who has joined us. It is a resolution recognizing the 50th anniversary of Ed's Fish and Pizza House. I am disappointed that you do not have samples for us tonight, but please tell us more about Ed.
Ed's at the corner of Buchanan and D.B. Todd Jr., or Dr. D.B. Todd Jr. Has been there in the same spot for 50 years, and the fish is outstanding. They don't serve as much pizza as they used to, but they did used to serve pizza. But the fish is outstanding. Grandson has taken it over and has done some amazing things with it, with their marketing and publicity. And so if you come down Buchanan on any given day around lunch, and you got somewhere to get there, if you're trying to get somewhere, you probably don't want to be there because you're going to have to go around the line at Ed's Fish. So.
I like that. So you were saying that you need a late filed correction to take pizza out of his
No.
title, is that right?
So we're changing the name from Norris to Moore.
Oh, there is an amendment, I'm sorry. All right, well, you will be presenting that on the floor. Thank you so much for appearing before the three of us today. Our tribunal is thrilled to have Council Lady Toombs back with us, our own fashionista, and she has RS 2022-1437 and recognizes the extraordinary efforts of Metro Water Services Division of Waste Services, Assistant Director John Honeysucker and his team. Can you name all team members?
I wish I could, because they deserve to be named.
They do.
However, I cannot.
Well-
But I appreciate them all. We all know the trials and tribulations we've had with trash, and they've done an outstanding job to try to get us back on track.
Thank you so much, Council Lady. We appreciate that. We're gonna move on to late items at this point. We don't have quorum, so you are excused, Council Lady Fashionista. And we are on late item, no number, Withers, Van Rees, and Bradford. It's a resolution urging the Tennessee General Assembly to reject House Bill 800 and Senate Bill 1216, seeking to prohibit LEAs from utilizing textbooks or instructional materials addressing LGBTQ issues or lifestyles. Councilman Withers and Van Rees, if y'all would like to address, because obviously while the caption is urging to reject, I think it is important to go on the record just explaining a little bit more beyond the objection here. I will give you all the floor.
Well, this is a very hateful legislation that unfortunately did pass in Florida and is, I don't know if he signed it yet, but on the desk of Governor DeSantis.
He signed it.
This is copycat legislation, more or less, that's advancing around our nation. In addition to limiting free speech, very importantly, limits the ability of students in every school district in every county of the state to learn factual information about themselves and about people that are like them, which includes elected officials, but includes lots of folks. But I think that's very dangerous that we are limiting the ability of students to learn factual information about themselves. I also think it's very dangerous that this action would remove a tool that school districts use effectively, which is providing information to combat bullying, which we know is a major problem, both for people who are LGBTQ or just generally. It often is used as a slur in many ways to marginalize and oppress people just for being different, frankly. So this removes a tool that our educators, our libraries, and other agencies can use just to combat bullying by preventing information. And I think that's very dangerous for our state. And that's why we're hoping that to take this step to ask our state legislature to reject the legislation.
If I can tag on, and I appreciate in my absence, Councilmember Withers working with the staff to have this available, because it is going into committee this week, and that's the reason for the late file, because we were gonna wait till 2 more weeks, and 2 more weeks is not helpful. We name by name the 10 out legislators and judges in the state of Tennessee. We're represented in all 3 grand divisions, and we do not want to be written out of history.
And so what I would, if Jim Schmidt would like to take an opportunity to speak to us as the Metro representative.
Blame it on the deputy.
Well, I was trying to make eyes to you.
I'm
Is there anything as the representative of Nashville at the legislature, is there anything that we as a committee and council need to know about this legislation moving forward? How to take action for the viewing public or anything of that nature?
The legislation is in the Calendar Rules Committee at the House side, so it'll be scheduled for the floor really any time. It could be as early as this week or maybe next. It's in Senate Education Committee tomorrow. Those committees are not, well, the House floor obviously, or all of the Davidson County delegation would be most responsive to y'all's resolution, would be here, but I think it would just put us on record as y'all wish, so. But that's the status of the bill. We'll see tomorrow in Senate Ed, where it goes.
And with that, Jim Schmidt is never going to return to our committee because I've asked him the last 2 meetings to give reports to us.
If you will please appoint the rest of the Arts Commission, I will not have to return unless you call me.
We actually don't have Arts Commission in front of us. Oh, we do, I'm
You
sorry.
did, you did.
Just kidding, just kidding. All right, thank you to council members. I don't think that we have a whole lot to, in here, but you'll have to move to suspend the rules on the floor, as you know, as being late filed and without a committee recommendation. So with that, we'll keep moving on to Councilman Sledge with his late ordinance. It is an ordinance approving the lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and the Nashville Soccer Club for a part of the parcel of property that was written to tie me up at 1441 12th Avenue South, Nashville, Tennessee, parcel so on and so forth, proposal number so on and so forth. So, Councilman Sledge, you are only a Rule 13 emergency filing, so I think you're welcome to share with us, but you should probably share on the floor as well.
Yeah, sure. So just to let the committee know, so this is a lease agreement that's been done between NSC and Metro. There's a vacant piece of property that's actually right between the William Edmondson home site and the Merle School and the Midtown Hills precinct. And so Metro and MMPD and the team and neighbors and myself have all worked together, and they'll be installing what's called a mini pitch. It's sort of like a hard surface where they will be holding activities for kids, leagues, practices, and so this is a completely vacant piece of land that everyone has agreed, hey, we can do this. Nashville SC is paying for all the installation, and so that's what the lease agreement is. The reason for the Rule 13 is that this takes 3 readings, and we only have 3 meetings left before the first home game on May 1st, and they wanted to potentially make this part of the festivities surrounding that.
All right, Councilor Allen.
When I Googled it, Google mapped it,
Yeah.
it showed up as Edge Hill Memorial Garden or something, is that
So it's to
correct?
the south of Edge Hill
Okay,
Memorial
great.
Garden. Yeah, so it's not taking any of
Thanks
that.
for that clarification.
You, Councilor Allen, we do not need ghosts where our children are playing.
Yeah.
And on to Councilor Allen, your late substitute, BL 2020, thank you, Councilman
Thank you.
Sledge. 1130, that takes us to, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewer Services to enter into a lease agreement with Cumberland River Compact for the installation and maintainment of a bandit litter trap in 7 Mile Creek at 797 Paragon Mills Road. Please tell me that bandit is some sort of possum or raccoon
It's
themed
about
litter
litter.
trap.
It's about litter, but that bill says leader, and this is just an amendment to correct the spelling.
Okay, yes, it does have
Actually
the
say
T
leader.
underlined. Okay, but there is not a raccoon mascot
No
involved, a
raccoon, no.
possum?
Well, I'm sure there's a picture somewhere.
Okay, all right. then.
It's about catching litter in the river, and I just wanted, it's just good practice to have the caption be correct, so it just changes the word leader.
And hopefully it does trap more than a liter of trash. Thank you, Councilor Allen. You've heard the routine. you'll need to explain on the floor, but I think the tribunal here is okay with you, and the raccoon you will be bringing along. So, that does take us to elections and confirmation, as previously mentioned. Thank you to Ms. Campbell West, who is here, right? Thank you. Mr. Clarence Edward, great. Mr. Dwight Beard, good to see you again. Ms. Faye Ellis. Mr. Joseph DeMartini?
He's not here.
He's not here. Good thing we checked this. Ms. Sheila Stratford Hodge, great. Your last one. We'll see y'all on the floor. Thank you so much for attending. That is the conclusion of our non-official rules and confirmation committee. Thank you all for attending. Do any of y'all need parking passes?